Hey there, Wendy here with Jazzydoodledesigns, and today I thought we would do a short review of these Arrtx 36 acrylic markers. Now, this is a birthday gift from my mom 2 weeks early, but they were on sale and I wanted to catch them while they were on sale because I only buy things that are on sale, if at all possible. But it comes in 36 colors. It says better coverage, fewer pen marks, waterproof and brush tip, available on various surfaces, liquid ink, no pumping. So I already had these acrylic markers, and I talked about these before on the channel, and I really like them. And so I thought I really wanted to try this set to see how they were different. So let's open them up. And look what we have here. Aren't they beautiful? Let me back you out just a little bit. And I will take this out. And it does come with this one as well. But look at those beautiful colors. I really like this selection of colors at first glance. It seems to have a nice mix of pastel colors and a few brights. There aren't a lot of darks. Generally speaking, the way I use these markers, that would work for me because I am going to be using them as a base layer for the most part. And my main thought is I would really like to see how well they work in my Disney color by number type of book, because I just haven't found a medium that I'm in love with, because while these were good for the smaller areas, they definitely leave something to be desired in larger areas. So I want to see if these will help me with that. So let's take a closer look. Let's take it, before we compare them, let's just take a look at this. It's got a cap a lot like a Sharpie marker, right? With this, that's what it kind of reminded me of, is the Sharpie tip or cap. On the cap is a number. It says 2570, shake then enjoy. So there are no names, but there are numbers. And you do have to shake these. So it has a brush tip and it says recap after use, strong coverage. And each of these little flowers has an opening so that you can see where the ink level is. So as you use it, you can take a look at that. But I did notice that if you unscrew this, you can see the entire bottom here with all the ink. So there is a ball in there, but you can see how your ink becomes a little more consistent, and you can really get a feel for how much you need to shake these, right? And then that just screws right back on. Now when you pull the top off, this is what it looks like on the inside. You have a nice fiber kind of brush tip. Where's my scratch paper? You can make your broader strokes. You can do, you know, big coverage, but then you can get a fairly... Did I just have some coffee? Can you tell? But you can get some fairly thin lines as well. Some people could probably get thinner lines than I do. I tend to use it for details, you know, adding little dots to flowers or whatever. One thing I did notice is that these do dry very matte. They do dry pretty quickly. But I like how they felt in my hand. So let's compare them now to this Arrtx pen. This one, they came with a number, and then I gave them a number. Yeah, it was a mess. But they also came with these little stickers that have a number here. This is how their tip looks. So you can see the two in comparison. The newer ones look like they have a little longer tip, but I don't know because it looks like it might just be this one's a little deeper set. I don't know. This works the same way. So that's this one. And then I'll leave that out. This is the Karen markers. They're brush markers. This has a name and a number. And this is what it looks like on the inside. So pretty similar here. And the tips are about the same. And this is the Karen marker. Now, it is a lot more translucent marker. This is really meant for calligraphy, which I do not do. I wanted to do it, but then just never, I don't know, just never had the patience. Shocking, I know, but to practice. But just at a fast scribble, I didn't do this line here. Just at a fast scribble, the thing that jumps out at me is this dries very, very matte. This dries better than this one, but you can still see a lot more of the brush strokes. And here you definitely can see the brush strokes. Now maybe if I do it this way, that's probably a little better comparison, but I can still see brush strokes on this. Now these are a lot more transparent and considerably more expensive. Are these beautiful? Yes. Do I use mine a lot? No. Should I use them more? Maybe. But they're really, I don't think, really made for coloring, maybe? I don't know. I just feel like you would get a lot of brush strokes. A lot more like this. So, anyway, those are kind of my thoughts. Let me see. I'll give you some general pricing. Okay, let's talk about price. So for this set, it is $36.99. So it's about $1 a pen, just a hair over $1 a pen. Now these the other Amazon markers, let's see. They run about $30 for 30. So they're about the same price as all the other acrylic markers on the market. So you can decide for yourself what you think. Okay, so I decided to do a picture using those markers, and I hadn't colored in this book yet. This is Hatchet Heroes Disney Babies book. And I colored this page. Now, I thought it turned out pretty cute. So what I did was I blended three or four different colors here, like a purple, a lavender, a darker blue, and a lighter blue here. And no, actually it's just 3 colors. It was a purple, a mid blue, and a light blue. Now I did go over this with colored pencil. I will say trying to blend these with just, you can use a water brush. I've seen people do that. And so I thought I would try that. There is a little bit of a learning curve to that. So I definitely need to work on that more. But I think it turned out really cute. Now, this background you can see does have some streaks in it. But overall, I thought that the Arrtx, these markers, did really well. I thought they did really, really well. This is 2 coats of this background, and for the most part, a lot of it is pretty streak-free at a glance. Like if you really start looking or zoom in, you can definitely see. But in in smaller areas, you don't get a lot of streaking at all. I enjoyed working with these. I thought it was really fun. I did go over with Prisma because in my quest to learn how to blend these, you know, there's a learning curve to how much water do you use? How much pigment do you use? Do you let it dry? Do you not let it dry? Do you how many colors do you use? How big of an area can you blend at once? And I don't have all the answers to that. I will say they blend pretty well when they're both wet and if you don't use a lot of water. That's probably the best way. The problem is if you're doing a big background or like this whole face, how do you, keep working that without getting a line? I don't really know the answers. I was able to fix things fairly well. Is this page perfect? No. But you know what? This is about coloring. It's about having fun. It's about pushing yourself. And I did all of those things with this. I pushed myself. I had fun. I stepped out of my comfort zone. And, I think that the results are good. Are they perfect? No. But they're good. And these images are so stinking cute, it doesn't take much. I was already a step ahead. So would I recommend these pens and who would I recommend them for? I think that these are a really nice set. I wasn't unhappy with my other Arrtx markers. I would say I think these have the advantage that you can unscrew them. Can I unscrew it now that I said that? No. You can unscrew these to see Wendy. Okay. Okay. You can unscrew these to see your colors. You can see how well you've mixed. You can see how much you have left. I do like that. Personally, these came with the stickers on them, which I appreciated. I don't think that there was a significant enough difference in the brush tip for me to say, oh, these are significantly better. I do feel like they were a little more opaque. I felt like they were a little more, I feel like you got a little less of the lines than you would with the other markers. So I personally think these are a step up. There are a lot more other colors with the other ones. So I'm happy that I have both because I'm a gal that likes all the colors. But on this page, I used just these. Here is the palette that I forgot to show you at the beginning. One other thing before we get into the white, I think it's really important to shake these. I noticed that when I was just playing around with these, if I didn't shake them, they tended to streak more than if I shook them well. So I just shook this for a second, and then I just want to show you this white. It is very bright. I really, really like it. Okay, this is a Uni Posca. Now, this is a thinner marker. So there's one stroke here, and I'll try and just use the tip. I do feel like these are a little brighter and a little more opaque. So I want to do one more test with you guys. Okay, so let's talk about going over lines. Now, this Arrtx is opaque. However, let's see how it does. This is my Posca. We'll let those dry. I'll be right back. Okay, I am back. Personally, I don't think it covers as well as a Posca. It looked like it was going to, but as it dried, it became more transparent. So what about, I have a polychromos here. Now, if you're just coloring the line, I think you're going to be fine. Both Prisma and polychromos color the line. Same with our Posca, right? Now, where you're going to run into trouble is if you try and come along the side here, you're going to notice the difference a lot. That is just kind of the reality of working with a white pen. What I like about these Arrtx is because they come in a lot of colors, I don't always have to color my lines with white. I can go in with an actual acrylic marker. But you're going to run into the same thing. I don't even remember which one I did. To me, that's not quite as noticeable as this. Was I being darker? Maybe. But I feel like I can get a little darker here. See if I can get darker here. I mean, they're comparable. Is it the solution I was hoping it would be? No. I personally, Posca is the pen that works best for me. And one of the things that I think cannot be stated enough, but I don't hear it stated very often, is when I was scrapbooking or card making, I would watch these card makers and they would say, well, I never have trouble with my glue clogging. And I would think, well, then why does my glue clog? And then I realized they're literally using their glue all the time. Every day they're card making. That's their job, so to speak. I card make at the time on the weekends because I was working. And so mine would sit for a week or maybe two before I used that particular glue. I had glues that I wouldn't use for a month. These guys were using it all the time. So if you have a marker that you're using frequently, it's going to be less prone to clogging. Now, people that are patient, like Shelly at Shell's, is it Shell's Colorful Life? You should check out her channel. She's a little more patient than I am, so when she's done with like her tooling, these acrylic pens, these Thule Art, they have like a plastic nib here, up here at the top. And what she does is she actually rinses hers after each use. And I applaud her because that's the proper thing to do. Does Wendy do that? Not so much. I'm really bad at that. But if you're not using your markers, the tip's going to get a little clogged and dirty. Sometimes you can simply wipe the gunk, prime again, and resurrect them. Sometimes you can't. But that is inherent for almost every marker. The nib or the tip or whatever will become clogged with dried product. So when you can, take those steps to maintain them. These you don't have that issue. It's a different kind of delivery system, and I don't find them to clog as frequently as I do something like the Thule Art. But these are fantastic art markers. And I believe I talked about them. I don't know if I've done an actual review, but I definitely talked about them in my haul. But they can be fantastic as well. So anyway, I've rambled on enough. I just wanted to give you my thoughts about these Arrtx acrylic markers. And until next time, happy coloring. Thank you for watching another video from Jazzydoodledesigns. If you enjoy adult coloring content, please consider subscribing. You can now find me on Instagram and Facebook as well. I welcome all comments and suggestions. Don't forget to like the video before you go. And until next time, take care.